I'm going to show you how to create the relationship in Access 2010. You need to go to your ER diagram first, and this is my ER diagram, and this is CD library ER diagram. I have 5 tables, and I'm going to show you how to set up relationship between artist and album table. So if you look at artist and album table, there's a one-to-many relationship. That means an artist can do one and many albums. An album must belongs to an artist. So the artist side becomes one and album side becomes many. So that's why you have this artist number in the artist table as a foreign key in the artist number in the album table. Right? So the one side becomes your parent and the many side becomes your child. So that means in the one-to-many relationship, one side becomes your parent and the many side becomes your child. So if you look at the relationship between album and track, album is one side, track is many side. So in the relationship between album to track, album is the parent and track is the child. Right? But now we're going to concentrate on the album and artist only. So the album becomes many and the artist becomes one. So let's go to our Access database. Right? You need to go to Database Tools tab, and there you have to select Relationship button, and from the ribbon you have to select Show Table. In the Show Table you have to select Album and click Add, and you have to select Artist and click Add, because we are going to set the relationship between album and artist. So then you click on Close. Right? So artist is my one side, album is my many side. So I need to set the relationship between one to many. So in order to do that, what I have to do is I need to click on artist number first, right? Right click on the mouse, it's left click on the mouse, right? Drag it and drop it inside this album table. Once you do that, there's a box created called Edit Relationship, right? So in this relationship, in the left hand side you can see artist, and the right hand side you can see album. So you have to map this artist number to this artist number in the album table. So from this arrow you can select the artist number, and this album you have to select the artist number, right? So you have to map one to many. Right, the next thing you have to do is you have to select these options, the last 3 options. Let's see what this first one means. Enforce Referential Integrity. That means you cannot, if I check this one, that means you cannot enter any artist into the album table that did not exist in your artist table, right? If I click this one, that means I cannot enter any artist into my album table that is not exist in my artist table, right? So for example, suppose in my artist table I have artist number 111 and 222, right? For any album in my album table, I can assign only those 2 artists. I cannot assign 555 to this artist number in my album table. If I want to assign it, then I need to uncheck this one. But Normally in databases, if you have one-to-many relationships, you have to enforce this one in order to overcome the errors, right? That's the first one, right? Now let's look at the second one. Cascade update related fields. That means, for example, if I have artist number 111 in my artist table, and if I assign this same artist from one of these albums, and if I want to modify this 111 into 888, once I change it in my artist table, it will change automatically in my album table, because I have a relationship between these two tables. That means my album is related to my artist. So if I check this one, that simply means if I update anything from my parent side, it will automatically update it in my child side or the many side. If I click on the last one, that is Cascade delete related records, that means if I delete any record from my artist side, the record related to album will be deleted automatically. Alright, so you have to be really careful which options you select. I would recommend the first option. You have to do it, otherwise your data could be inconsistent, right? But keep that in mind. If you have for example, if your parent table primary key is an auto number, it is no point for you to select this Cascade update related fields or Cascade delete related records. Why is it? Because you cannot modify an auto number. Auto num is something is generated automatically from the database, right? If a primary key can be modified only, then you click on these two options. Since my artist number is auto number in our artist table, I'm just selecting the first option and I need to click create. Then you can see there's one-to-many relationship built in the Access database, right? You need to save this one first, right, and then close it, right? And then you can open go to artist. I have 3 different artists, and you can go to album, right, and you can create any album and create ABC, right? I can select an artist from here too, right? And genre, I'm just going to leave it as blank, right? And I can create another album called KKK, right? Artist number, right? Suppose now if I click this one, I have only 3 different artists, 1, 2 and 3. So if I want to enter 999, right, it won't allow me to enter it, right? So it says you cannot add or change a record because a related record is required in the artist table. So that means 999 is not exist in my artist table, so I cannot enter 999. So I had to say okay. Okay, what I did now was I set my artist number in the artist table to be number. That means I have changed the data type of my artist number. Previously I had auto number, now I have number. So this one, since my primary key is not an auto number, I have to select these 2 options: Cascade update related fields and Cascade delete recorded fields. Now I'm going to show you how these particular options are affected to the database tables. Right? Then you have to save the table, then close it. Now first I'm going to go to my artist table, and this time I have to enter the number manually. So I have to enter 8, right? Maybe I'm going to enter James. I'm going to enter Pamela, right? And my primary key is 9, right? So I have 2 different artists, so I have to enter it manually since my artist number is a number, not an auto number. And then you save the table, then you can close the table. So you go to album, right? What you can do is you can create like 2 more albums, like GGG, and you can create KKK, right? But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign, right, artist 8 to GGG and artist 8 to GGG as well. So I can do that one with no problem. I just save it and close it. Now in my relationship, right, since I have enabled this Cascade update related fields, that means if I change this 8 from this artist, automatically my album's data should be changed as well. So let's see whether it's happening. So you close it. So in my album I have 8 and 8. So I'm going to change this artist 8 into something else. First I need to close this album, right? So I'm going to change this 8 into 777, right, to make it. So once I save it, right, and close this table and try to open my album table, which is my child table, you can see your 8 being automatically updated into 7. So that means it is not necessary for me to update the child table. It will automatically does it for you since you enable the option. Now let's see what's going to happen when I try to delete something. Now in the artist, I want to delete this 777, right? So if I want to delete this 777, right, so that means I'm deleting from the parent table, not the child table. If you delete something from the child table, it won't affect in the parent table. But if you do something in the parent table, if it will affect in the child table, since you have the one-to-many relationship and the cascades, right? So if I delete this record, right, it gives me an error message saying that you are about to close one record, right? Later records will be deleted. That means it's saying, so whatever the records in the album table will be deleted automatically as well. So if you want to make it yes, right, then it'll go ahead and perform the deletion for you. So if I go back to my album table, previously, if you remember, you have like KKK and GGG, but these 2 will be deleted automatically. That means I enable my Cascade delete related records, right? So what you can do now is you can finished designing your other tables and the relationships. So I hope this video is useful for you. Thank you.